Time for Game 2 of our state championship Saturday from Noblesville, Indiana. Class 1A state championship girls lacrosse between Brownsburg and St. Joseph coming your way on IndianaSRN this afternoon. We just got through with our 2A state championship game with the Carmel Greyhounds taking that one over Gearin Catholic. And now it's time for the 1A action. Today's broadcast on IndianaSRN is brought to you by Reynolds Farm Equipment. Reynolds is your local hometown John Deere dealer, open since 1955 with 5 locations in central Indiana. Boilermaker Local 374, a union representing skilled workers in Indiana. Boilermaker Advantage. Burtner Electric, spark with confidence, your trusted electrician partner since 1986. Wheeler Mission, helping our neighbors in need since 1893. We've been here to help, thanks to caring individuals. Aspen Creek Grill, a large selection of food made from scratch and fairly priced with 2 great locations in Noblesville and Greenwood. The Morales Group, building better futures, one story at a time. LifeWise Academy, their mission is to positively impact students, schools, and communities. Contact them at lifewise.org. Officially Human, our mission is to restore respect to game officials and recognize them as authorities on the fields and the courts. Ref Reps, at Ref Reps, our mission is to help the world see the game through the eyes of the officials. And by the IndianaSRN Sports page, sports from border to border and coast to coast. Jarrett Lewis with you alongside the coach, Laura Rogers. We've had one. It's now time to play our second state championship match. First, the Carmel Greyhounds winning that 2A game, a phenomenal performance to go back-to-back as state champions in Class 2A. They defeated Gearin Catholic 10-6. And now we feature the Bulldogs of Brownsburg High School coming into this one at 17-3. They were able to defeat Fishers the other night. And now we'll take on the St. Joseph Huskies, who did some damage against Castle to set up our 1A state championship matchup. Well, we've had great conditions. We were treated to a really good game in Class 2A. We expect a lot of the same in Class 1A. What do you make first about this Brownsburg squad, Coach?
Brownsburg is very youth-driven, as we saw on Wednesday night. 10 of 15 goals were scored by the Christopher twins, only freshmen for the Bulldogs. So not as much deep playoff or state experience on that side for the Purple and Whites. We'll see if that plays a role. And
we saw those freshmen, Peyton and Madison Christopher, really kind of put their name out there. I mean, if you're well versed in the lacrosse world, you know who the Christophers are by now, even though they are just freshmen, and each of them scoring 5 goals in that win over Fishers. And the defense also doing their part to get that victory. On the other side for St. Joseph, a 2-headed monster that was in their win over Castle with goals from Kate O'Shaughnessy, who had 6 goals for the Huskies, and then Peyton Hopkins added 4. Those two really kind of attacking early. They were part of a good start for the Huskies that, they pretty much led that entire game against Castle and never looked back. 9 seniors on this squad. Hopkins and O'Shaughnessy really lead that offense for St. Joseph.
Yeah, better situation here for St. Joe. Not a school night, able to get up at a normal time and make the 2-3 hour drive from the region down to join us today. They've walked in these shoes before in the Final Four last year, so let's see if that experience makes the difference.
And a really good showing, too. You mentioned making that long drive for the South Bend natives, having to drive down here. A lot of light blue in the stands, a nice mixture of purple on the other side for Brownsburg, too. These two teams, they have played this season. In the regular season, St. Joseph hosted Brownsburg, so the Bulldogs had to travel up to South Bend in northern Indiana. The Huskies came away with a tight, high-scoring game. 13-12 was that final. So we predicted a low-scoring kind of defensive battle in that Carmel and Gearin Catholic game. We kind of had that early on. What about the expectations for this one? Maybe some more high-scoring matchup here between these two teams?
Yeah, I don't know if you and I can pick them anymore, but yeah, I think we'll definitely see that. And get a little different situation today Neutral site, both teams traveling a little bit and having that experience of playing into April and May, so that should make a difference.
Now time for the starting lineups. First for the Brownsburg Bulldogs. Let's meet them.
Number 27, Brea Tubbs. Number 30, Haley Schaefer. Number 99, Georgia Osmond. Wearing 0, Izzy Latimer. Number 3, Grace Grabowski. Number 21, Madeline Gottlieb. Number 24, Addison Frieden. Number 42, Madison Christopher. Number 84, Peyton Christopher. And in goal, number 44, Blake Palmer. Coach Lawson assisted by Emma Roskuski and Cece Damler. And now, let's welcome the home team for our Varsity 1A State Championship game this afternoon. The 1 seed, St. Joe's Huskies from South Bend, and their head coach, Josie Walters. Starting for Coach Walters Huskies this afternoon, number 2, Murphy Farrell. Number 4, Chloe Alumba. Number 5, Kate O'Shaughnessy. Number 6, Ashley Marisness. Number 9, Emma DeRoll. Number 10, Maura Green. Number 11, Ellie Emberton. Number 14, Shay Anderson. Number 20, Lauren Duba. Number 21, Peyton Hopkins. Number 22, Alex Showanaki. And in goal, number 30, Maya Matthews. Coach Walters assisted by Elena Emmerich.
There you have it, the starting lineups for our Class 1A State Championship match. The Brownsburg Bulldogs and the St. Joseph Huskies. The Huskies in that light blue with white numbers, and the Bulldogs wearing white with purple numbers and letters. 12 minutes on the clock. Still a little bit of a wind, but the conditions remain nice. A beautiful clear sky. Sunny as well here in Noblesville, Indiana. Time to play our second game on IndianaSRN this afternoon.
Yeah, another great officiating crew lending their time here this weekend. We've got Kat Shaddles, Elizabeth Wiley, Azure Davey, and Ryan King on table. These officials have worked long and hard since March. I know some officials who've done like 60-plus games, so thanks to them, because we can't do it without them.
That is exactly right. We'll see the Christopher twins at the circle. Waiting for the draw will be Peyton Christopher, also Addison Frieden. Those three, all freshmen, all in this starting lineup, and all did have a major impact in that semi-state matchup against Fishers. Hopkins will meet Christopher at the middle for the draw. That should be a fun matchup to watch. In this one is Hopkins, another terrific scorer. The two meet at the middle. The Class 1A State Championship for girls lacrosse in the state of Indiana is underway. Hopkins trying to pick it up. Christopher looking to track it down too. It's still loose. Not a clear pickup yet for anyone. We do have a whistle, and the ball handed over to the Huskies.
Eventual holding foul puts it into the stick of the light blue as St. Joe travels to our left into the attacking zone.
Lucy Hardy controls it for St. Joe's. Now behind the cage, Kate O'Shaughnessy, one of those terrific senior attackers. A nice pass right into the goalie. Blythe Palmer was waiting for it as we get our second whistle early on in this one.
Maybe a possible card coming our way. Both referees held up the timeout signal. And digging into a pocket, showing a card. Not sure if we're going to have maybe a danger. Oh, no. Card goes back into the pocket, and ball to Brownsburg. So perhaps a little light blue in the crease there, giving the ball to the Bulldogs.
Bulldogs head the other way. Taking it all the way was Chelsea Bastion, and then close to the cage, having to reverse course. Huskies defense getting back in time, but you do allow the Christophers to look to set something up and put the first goal up on the board.
Yeah, Gottlieb carried the ball down into the attacking zone, was alone there for a minute, took a look, and then decided to wait for the rest of the help to arrive.
Peyton runs to her left. Shot goes right of the cage to the left of Maya Matthews, who's in net for the Huskies. Now Madison Christopher wearing that 42. Couple of spin moves, but can't shake the defender. Now she will, and she'll put a shot in. It gets by Matthews, and that's how the scoring gets going. Madison Christopher with goal number 1.
You can see how Christopher working to her right, fairly well defended, but just get just enough time and room to get those hands free and shoot far post.
Madison starts the scoring. Her sister Peyton will now go back to the draw with Hopkins. Peyton looks to win this one as she picks it up for Brownsburg.
St. Joe initially pressing out quite a bit, leaving a hole there in the 8.
Had a good look at it.
Light blue is there to pick up some of the trash and head the opposite way.
Kind of passing it to herself was Lauren Frick, and getting knocked down. Frick is back up following the whistle, although Bulldog defenders have to stay a little more spaced out before Frick starts to take off with it.
Yeah, 4 meters away on a foul, 2 meters away on a boundary ball. So referee Azure Davey making sure Brownsburg backs up to follow the rules there.
That pass, dangerous, but does sneak through. O'Shaughnessy, without a doubt the smallest girl on the field, can definitely find some crevices probably to maneuver through, and that's what kind of helped her out in the last game, leading to her 6 goals. Hopkins lost it, then it got kicked away. Holding against Brownsburg.
Check that against St. Joe's.
Or against St. Joe's, rather.
Check of the clock here by the officials as reset on the penalty.
Ripped from behind, although too much on the defensive end from Marinus.
Those checks really need to be a quick up and down motion. If you swing and hold, you're going to get that call each and every time.
So here come the Bulldogs, looking to add to their first quarter lead. Opportunity that time for Grabowski.
Similar play of what we saw before. Brownsburg overloading there on the right-hand strong side with the Christophers up top looking for those rollers and cutters coming around the right side of the crease.
This is Madison. She draws a crowd. The whistle from the far side official will offer a free position, it looks like, for Brownsburg.
Cross check. Foul inside the arc.
Yeah, first free position of the day. That slow whistle allows the player to continue their motion to goal.
Shot bounces in. Matthews deflects. Still loose. Matthews, though, able to pick it up for St. Joe.
I remember saying Matthews' name quite a bit in her Final Four tilt. Did a nice job standing tall in the goal for the Huskies.
Pass upfield. Bounces into the stick of Hardy.
Bit of a crowd there on the 40-yard line. Triple team not fruitful, slight foul, and the Huskies maintain possession.
A lot more whistles in this first quarter compared to our previous game. That was a clean, fast first quarter, really a whole first half between Carmel and Guerin Catholic. Here's a drive on the attack, getting close. A little scoop shot that will get by for Ashley Marinus.
Goal by the Huskies.
Marinus ties it up for St. Joseph.
We're not at one. With 6:04 to play here in the first.
Flag also came up on the far side. Looks like O'Shaughnessy had a little help there at the end, falling into the crease. But officials decided the ball went first and the foul would have been on Brownsburg, so we're going to keep the goal.
Tied up at 1 at about the halfway mark of this first quarter. On the draw, Christopher and Hopkins. It'll trickle towards that 30-yard line marker where the defense can wait. Still loose. Whistle. We will see a yellow card this time. This one's going to go against the freshman Frieden of Brownsburg.
Any contact with that head and neck area is an automatic yellow card, so Frieden's going to spend 2 minutes in the box, giving the Huskies the man up with just under 6 to play in the first.
Our first card of the game, and a chance again for St. Joseph. Hopkins gets into the zone. Looking for someone to get open. Marinus looking to score again, which she does. Got around the defender and not a quick enough reaction from Palmer in goal. Two quick ones for Ashley Marinus.
Those green cleats do a nice little tiptoe around on the right-hand crease roll and finish.
Whistle off the draw. Bulldogs will hold on to it. I was referring to Marinus of St. Joseph. It's been O'Shaughnessy this whole time. So O'Shaughnessy wears number 5. Marinus is number 6. So give both of these first 2 goals for the Huskies to Kate O'Shaughnessy, which shouldn't be a surprise. O'Shaughnessy scored 6 earlier this week to help the Huskies defeat the Castle Knights. Free position for Brownsburg. Can they tie it? No. Deflected by Matthews.
Another potent goal scorer, Maddie Gottlieb, on that drive, but Maya Matthews ready in defense.
Still on this side of the Bulldogs. So it's 2 goals for the senior O'Shaughnessy. On the other side, a freshman, and Madison Christopher. And maybe it'll be another freshman here for Brownsburg that can tie things up. The Bulldogs with a couple of shots so far in this quarter. A few deflections, a few saves for Matthews. Get a whistle here from
3-second call against
the
Coast.
official standing at the 20. A 3-second call against the Huskies.
Oh, O'Shaughnessy's going to pay the penalty on that one and give Christopher a lane to goal.
Pass from Christopher to Frieden. Matthews trying to stay big in net as Frieden looks to score, and she does. Just below the top bar of the net, and that one goes in to tie it back up at 2. Both goals so far from freshmen.
Yeah, all 4 goals so far tonight unassisted on both sides of the ball, so lots of crease rolls, lots of drives. So we'll see if either defense can send those slides and kind of shut off those opportunities and force some assists, force to slow down that attack a little bit.
Pretty balanced out game thus far. Similar to these 2 teams when they met up earlier in the regular season. 13-12 was that final. St. Joseph winning that one. So the makings of perhaps another classic as these 2 teams are going back and forth in this opening quarter. 3:15 left to go. The draw won by Brownsburg. Madison Christopher with it. Off to Frieden, freshman to freshman. Here comes Frieden.
And looking a bit ISO here with just Frieden on the weak side. Finds Gottlieb on the crease roll.
Gottlieb, another one you got to watch out for. Not a freshman, but still an underclassman. Pass as the cut came from behind the goal. Deflected away, but Brownsburg cannot keep it in play. It goes out of bounds.
Got a lot of lines on these fields. We've got, of course, football. We've got some soccer, men's lacrosse, women's lacrosse. Our field is the largest, and it's going to extend all the way back to the end of the end zone. Trickles away from Brownsburg. Huskies on the attack.
Good little transition. Ellie Emberton. Now Murphy Farrell. Called her name a bunch the other night too. O'Shaughnessy hard to miss now with those green shoes on. We'll make sure we'll recognize her correctly. Her team's still with it. Emberton picked up the loose ball.
I know moms and dads in the stands always appreciate an identifying mark to cheer on their son or daughter from such a distance, and those bright green cleats will do just that.
O'Shaughnessy Has it now, sees a triple team. And Marinus will be hard to miss also. Check that MC McCourt is out there. She's got the bright orange on, so we'll always know where she's at. And she's up top, working with Emberton. Pass that goes over and tracked down. Taking a bump as it heads out of bounds was Allenbaugh.
Looks like a little deflection on that pass, so St. Joe's was right to let it go out of bounds, and subsequent foul. They're going to have the ball at the dot. 30 seconds to play here. Let's see if the Huskies can come up with something to close out this quarter.
Looking for somewhere to go. Shea Anderson. 20 seconds now. O'Shaughnessy. Could she get the hat trick here in the first quarter? She'll try and she'll succeed. O'Shaughnessy make it 3. Huskies take the lead right before the end of the quarter at 15.5 seconds.
Unofficially, Huskies shooting 3 for 3, all from the stick of O'Shaughnessy. If you're from South Bend, you gotta like those numbers.
St. Joe's 3, Brownsburg 2.
O'Shaughnessy scored her first with about 6 minutes to go in this quarter, and she's added in 2 more. A good first quarter for her and the rest of the team. We've seen crazier goals scored with less time, 15.5.
I'd like to say it takes about 7 seconds to score in lacrosse if you've really got your wheels on, so we could see some fireworks here.
Ground ball, Brownsburg. Looks like they reached over, but they are going to take it, so the whistle going against St. Joe's. The final seconds tick off. There's the horn. The first quarter comes to an end. St. Joe's will lead things 3-2 heading to quarter number 2. The Class 1A Girls Varsity State Championship on IndianaSRN.
Hello and welcome to Game Day. My name is Keith Myers. I'm the Vice President of IndianaSRN. We're glad that you joined us today. If you'd like to see more content just like tonight, just hit the donate button. Every dollar that you donate will go right back into more games right here on IndianaSRN, which means more games for you. It's IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat.
Looking to elevate your brand? Choose Dynamark, your local one-stop shop for all your print, signs, promo products, apparel, and mailing services. Serving Indianapolis for over 50 years. Dynamark, where strong relationships are built through exceptional service.
3-2 your score. The Huskies of St. Joseph on top of Brownsburg in our Class 1A Girls Lacrosse State Championship. Coach Laura Rogers is here. Jarrett Lewis on IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. If you missed our first game today, it was the 2A matchup between Carmel and Guerin Catholic. The Greyhounds going back-to-back, knocking off the Golden Eagles 10-6. So the Golden Eagles went back-to-back in 22 and 23, and then Carmel returns the favor. That was quite a game. You can rewatch that game at IndianaSRN, our YouTube channel. Make sure you check that out. Also on X and Facebook. You can follow us there and check out all the game updates for all sorts of sports. We're in lacrosse mode right now. We still have baseball season happening. Some softball games going on this weekend as well, and soon enough we will be rolling into football season coming this fall, beginning in late August. Excited about that. For now, we will wrap up the girls lacrosse season with this one. After one quarter, St. Joseph leads things 3-2. There's a look at their huddle. So they break it and we'll start this second quarter. Getting some pretty good representation, especially for the Huskies making the long trip down here from South Bend. Brownsburg, not a terrible drive over to Noblesville from the west side of Indianapolis.
And both title games played just miles apart here on the northeast side of Indy, as the boys tournament is taking place just down the road at Hamilton Southeastern. You can check out all that action with our colleagues at IndianaSRN.
Out of midfield for the draw.
Yeah, the club championship game wrapped up not too long ago with the South Bend Bears winning that one over Eastside. The Guerin girls coming up short in the state championship, but the Guerin boys right now in a battle with Evansville Memorial. That game knotted up at 1 in the second quarter. A draw to start the second quarter here, won by Brownsburg, now going to their left, and Christopher took a bump, it looks like, nearly stumbled over and is adjusting the headset.
Yeah, this broadcaster's old enough to remember playing without goggles, so still getting a little used to that. But Brownsburg is used to scoring goals, and there's another
Goal by the
from number
Bulldogs.
24, Addison Frieden.
Frieden has her second. Ties things back up at 3. We've had already a couple of ties in this one.
With 11:33 to play here in the first half.
Neither team giving an inch. They don't want to see, if you take anything from that first game, you don't want to see a disadvantage reach 2 or 3. Those are hard to overcome, especially in the state championship games.
Yeah, lacrosse is such a game of momentum. So when you get a team on a little run, you have to figure out how to break that, whether that's just the next right thing, like a great draw or a ground ball, as we see here.
This one picked up by Farrell. Farrell can't hold on to it, though, and Christopher comes in to swoop it away. O'Shaughnessy trying to make things difficult, but too much contact.
You'll hear fans yelling, "Give her 4 or get your 4." So when you are fouled, we have self-started women's lacrosse. You're welcome to go at any time, but sometimes players will elect to make sure the offending player has been penalized, so to speak, and move out of their line of sight.
A trot around the back. Gottlieb working with Christopher on the back end, seeing what develops, eyeing the defense. Here's Gottlieb. Will beat her girl left and sneak it into the bottom corner of the net. So Gottlieb has her first. The lead goes back to Brownsburg.
Goal by the Bulldogs. Number 21, Madeline Gottlieb. Timeout on the field.
Timeout on the field after that goal given up. The Huskies and Coach Walters want to talk things over. Her team trailing 4-3 here in the second. The 1A state championship game right here on IndianaSRN.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience. We've got incredible specials, great service. Everything that we do here is made from scratch. We hand-cut all our steaks in-house. Bring your family, come have some great food.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
There's the Brownsburg Bulldogs during this timeout called by St. Joseph after they gave up 2 straight goals. One of them from Addison Frieden, a freshman. Madeline Gottlieb then scored the most recent one. She's a sophomore. The underclassmen of this Brownsburg team is so special, so talented, doing a lot of the heavy lifting for Coach Caitlin Lawson. Winners of Sectional 7, they beat Columbus North and Roncalli, and then able to get by Fishers just a few days ago to get here. But we can expect this one to remain close, just with how each team has been able to respond to goals from their opponent.
Yeah, bit of an early timeout there by St. Joe's. Only a 1-goal lead for Brownsburg early in the second, so no time to panic. So we'll see what the Huskies talked about.
Nothing new with Christopher Payton, that is, winning another draw, but the bad pass by Brownsburg stolen away by Hopkins. Hopkins will sling it upfield to Emberton. Emberton with O'Shaughnessy, who has 2 of the 3 goals for the Huskies. Little shake and bake, beats 2 girls, lost the ball, but enough contact to award O'Shaughnessy a free position.
Had a held whistle, flag up on the far side for the cross check. It's going to be the first free position of the night for the Huskies.
Probably not the girl that you want to give these types of opportunities to. O'Shaughnessy runs in. Good defense as Christopher came in from behind to swipe at it, and then it was picked up in goal by Palmer. Still a little discussion here. They're going to give it back to the Huskies.
Looks like maybe a crease violation. Some minor infraction that's going to give the Huskies the ball at the dot and, more importantly, maintain possession.
O'Shaughnessy gets it back up top to Hopkins. Under 9 minutes to play in this second. Hopkins will look to drive in. Good defense from Brownsburg. Hopkins, though, staying with it and scoring the goal to pick up her first, and we're tied again at 4.
Solid shooting today by the Huskies. Unofficially 4 goals on 5 shots. Very efficient attack so far from the ladies from St. Joe's.
Just a little back and forth we go in this first half. Still a lot of time left to play. Any team could go on a run, you sense, but the draws fairly even. The defense balanced out with the offense for both sides. Another draw won by, well, initially Christopher had it, but then it was still up for grabs and taken away for St. Joe's. Murphy Farrell. Ground ball finds the stick of Farrell again. O'Shaughnessy has 3 of the 4. Pass to a cutting Husky teammate, an easy dig by Palmer. That was Allenbaugh with the shot. And looking to sneak in from behind and steal it away was Emberton, but she got called for the whistle.
Yeah, not sure St. Joe's knew they had a slow flag there on the far side. A little bit of misguided shot there by the Huskies. Right into Palmer's breadbasket, leading to the turnover.
Ground ball scooped up by the Huskies. They'll try to clear things out. A long run across midfield. Taking a bump, trying to slow her down before she heads back to the other way. A nice round of applause getting to Marinus.
Good 70-yard dash there to deliver the ball to her attack, and then takes those orange feet back behind the restraining line to take a peek.
Shay Anderson took a shot following her shot on goal. Slow to get up. Anderson appearing to be in some pain, getting hit around the head. Going through the motions, it looks like, on what had happened. She's going to make her way over to the sideline. So a substitution for the Huskies. Looks like Grace Shaw has checked in.
Glad to see Anderson back on her feet. Maybe a little extra curricular there after the play, but looks like she's going to be okay, and hope to see her back out here soon.
Perhaps Sydney Schmeltz, the one who came in for the injured Anderson. O'Shaughnessy picks up the loose ball. Nearly falling down. It's loose again, and a hold called against Brownsburg.
Brownsburg getting a little choppy, a little rammy-jammy down here in the defensive end. They'll want to clean that up to keep the Huskies off those free positions.
O'Shaughnessy trying to score again. Palmer doing just enough to keep it in front of her.
Palmer stepping out of her goal circle. 10 seconds to clear the ball inside the circle. Unlimited time once she steps out and becomes a common field player. Moving the ball up the field.
Frieden with some speed. Guarded closely by Paige Gobin.
St. Joe's pressing out past the numbers. A little bit unorthodox. Looks like we got some extra defender coming in, the late arriving Christopher.
Yeah, Christopher trying to make a cut from right around the 20-yard line. Not there. Huskies defense keeping a close eye on both Peyton and Madison. Grace Grabowski on a slower than usual offensive possession, and now going fast. Gottlieb towards the goal. Bulldogs closest to it, so they'll hang on. Madison Christopher now in front of the goal. A nice, wicked shot. Too much zip on that one. Gets by Matthews. The Bulldogs retake the lead.
42, Madison Christopher. That's her second of the afternoon.
All 9 goals scored here this afternoon on both teams have been unassisted. So a lot of layups, a lot of make it, take it balls. So I think this game is going to be won by the first team who's able to shut down those 1v1s and force a little more assisted play.
Yeah, a lot of best on best in this first half. 5-4 the score. We've gone back and forth. We've changed leads a couple of times. Hopkins rips it out, but Frieden is there to steal it. She loses it. Hopkins trying to stay in bounds, pick it back up, which she does. Defense, she stepped on the line, though, out of bounds. You can't believe it. Dangerous ground ball. Bulldogs getting lucky. Trying to get it over on their side of the field. Another whistle from the far side referee, and she shows a yellow also. That's going to give the Huskies.
Yellow card.
Is that going to be man up?
Against the Bulldogs.
Number 38, perhaps. She's already down in the chair.
She's already sitting.
Hard to make out the number, but nonetheless.
I was waiting for somebody to
Huskies are
head that way.
Go man up for 2 minutes of this last 3.5. Errant pass there, maybe too quick of a restart.
Hopkins does save it.
Great hustle.
So that would have given it back to Brownsburg on the bad pass. So the Huskies with a player up, and they take advantage of it. The driving goal from Shea Anderson.
Number 14, Shea Anderson.
Comes at the 3:10 mark in this second quarter. Knotted back up at 5, so you can take a 1-goal lead. We'll just tie it right back, and then we'll take the lead. A little bit of back-and-forth action just like that here in this first half. We have another timeout on the field. We're knotted up at 5 with 3:10 left to go in our 1A state championship match.
We're not here to just sell you another piece of software. We're here to helping you procure the licensing, manage and monitor those licenses over time.
Collaboration is very key when working with our clients. We are very much a partnering organization. We definitely work as a team to deliver solutions for our customers.
We're here to build relationships with customers, which is unique.
Hi, I'm Grayson, and our parents work in road construction. Every day they head out to make our roads safer and better for you. But did you know work zone deaths have increased 63% since 2010?
Wow, that's a lot. Please slow down and pay attention when you see all those orange signs. When you do, you're helping to keep our parents and everyone who works on the roads safe. Thanks for looking out for us.
This message is brought to you by your friends at Highway Safety Services. Stay safe, stay alert.
The Huskies of St. Joseph's there. They're tied up at 5 following the goal scored by Shea Anderson. We've had a couple of lead changes, multiple ties. This one staying close through our first about a little over 20 minutes of gameplay. Just the last 3:10 left to go in this one. Another check of that goal score too for the Huskies. They had a player up in that situation as well.
Yeah, both teams taking an early first half timeout. Looks like we've got the head coaches there at midfield conferring with the referees, probably inquiring about perhaps the reason for some of these cards, or perhaps the missed call here on the far end where the St. Joe player went down. So a little bit of animation there from the coaches. Anytime a coach asks a question to the referee, the opposing team is legally allowed to be there to get any and all clarifications needed. So good to see that they're talking it over and hopefully continuing this game on a safe path.
A lot more whistles and a few more cards than our previous game from earlier this afternoon. Again, if you missed it, the 2A state championship match, Carmel going back-to-back, defeating Gearin Catholic 10-6. It was just a 3-1 halftime score in favor of the Greyhounds, and they really turned it on in the third quarter and held on to their lead through the fourth to pick up their second consecutive state championship. The Gearin boys are in action at the moment over at Hamilton Southeastern. They're taking on Evansville Memorial. That game also right here on the network on IndianaSRN.
Carmel boys will have a chance to join the state championship party as they'll be taking on Hamilton Southeastern. 7 p.m. tonight right here on SRN.
Another draw at midfield, the final 3:10 of this first half. See who can come out with an edge. It's just been back and forth. The draw won by St. Joe's.
Yeah, draw's pretty even so far this game, 5-4, maybe a shade in Brownsburg's court, but errant pass, good hustle, but not enough, and the ball's going to head back with the Bulldogs.
Score update on that Gearin Catholic and Evansville Memorial 1A game. The Golden Eagles lead 3-1 at the half. So at the conclusion of that, we will see the 2A game.
You got to think some of the Gearin gals jumped in the car and headed the short 5 or 6 miles down to HSC to support their male counterparts. Good to see that both games can be enjoyed today for those schools.
That's got to be pretty cool. They just walk up like, hey, look what we got here. Big old trophy.
Exactly.
Rooting on the boys. Be a very good Saturday, the final day in May for Gearin Catholic if they can do the boys-girls sweep in lacrosse. How sweet that would be. A whistle and a stoppage of the clock. We have another Husky player down.
Once a coach enters the field, generally we do need to make a switch if play is stopped for an injured player. That player needs to come off the field. It can be replaced by anyone of the coach's choosing.
Yeah, I wanted to check to make sure we got that number right. Mara Green heading to the sideline. And looks to be replaced by Emma Durrell. Loose ball in front of the cage. Bulldogs pick it up, trying to clear it. Frieden. Which she does, and swings it over to Christopher, who's on the attack.
Shooting space, the call there. Good initial defense by St. Joseph. Slide comes in a little late. Taking Christopher's pass to goal, she'll have a free position.
Brownsburg not having one of these in a while. Christopher, her sister has scored, and now she has tacked one on. Peyton Christopher
by the Bulldogs
with her first.
Peyton Christopher.
Card has been released for Brownsburg, so we're back to 12-on-12 with 1:07 left in the first half of this 1A state title game.
If that ends up being the last goal of this half, we'll bookmark that one. The Bulldogs would like to take their advantage into the second half. St. Joe's, though, able to score, able to respond with a score every time that Brownsburg has found the net. Another draw, 1:07 to play. Batted around a few times before being picked up by Farrell.
Looks like an offsides on the backside. Violation against St. Joe's, going to give the ball to Brownsburg. The attacking and defensive ends have to wait behind that 30-yard line until the referee signals possession. Wasn't the case this time, and Brownsburg will have the ball.
Gottlieb, a little start and stop. That shot just wide. 30 seconds for the Bulldogs. Could they add one more?
Clock awareness is key right here if you're Brownsburg. You want to try and get one more to extend that lead just a pinch before heading to halftime.
In the possession of Madison Christopher. On the drive. A hard throwing shot sent away. Still loose, 3 seconds. Neither team will be able to get off any more moves, and that'll be the end of the first half in our 1A state championship game. The Brownsburg Bulldogs leading things 6-5. A lot of back and forth action. The lead swapped a handful of times. And the Bulldogs happy with where they're at, but still a whole second half left to play to decide who's going to take the 1A crown. We'll come back with some numbers and a recap of the first half when we return. It's halftime of the 1A state championship game of girls lacrosse on IndianaSRN.
Scoring an
big play here for Mount Vernon. Ertl looking right, now over the middle, fires, and it's in there for a touchdown. What a throw. Boy, what a stick, huh? Side out, back to the middle, and guess what? You want a point on the other side, you go to Taylor Lewis.
Here's Freeman. Has an opening shot. Score!
Stafford around a screen, skip pass. Mays with 3. Mays drive, floater up and in at the horn.
Hand off, and nice hole over the near side. 40, 35, 30. Block to the outside. 20, 15, 10, 5, and touchdown. And that's a big one right there. And finally, somebody gets on the board.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Bertner Electric Incorporated provides professional commercial electrical contractor services to Indianapolis and surrounding communities. Locally owned and operated for over 30 years, our knowledge and experience make us the perfect choice for all your commercial electrical contractor needs. Contact us today.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt.
Insulting referees.
Threatening officials.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes.
Violent language in the stands.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot. It's not a game.
You want a piece of equipment you can trust, one that's easy to use. No matter the size of the job, you want to create a feeling worthwhile, something you can use for every job. For over 60 years, Reynolds has been a community staple, ensuring our customers powerful implements and top quality care and service. You need something that's in it for the long haul. Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer, today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Hey, thanks for joining us tonight. We consider it a privilege to have you as one of our listeners and viewers. If you'd like to see more content just like tonight, just hit the donate button. Every dollar that you donate will go right back into more games right here on IndianaSRN. This means more games for you. It's IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat.
Looking to elevate your brand? Choose Dynamark, your local one-stop shop for all your print, signs, promo products, apparel, and mailing services. Serving Indianapolis for over 50 years. Dynamark, where strong relationships are built through exceptional service.
Welcome back to Noblesville for our 1A Girls Lacrosse State Championship game right here on IndianaSRN. Coach Laura Rogers, I'm Jarrett Lewis. It's a close one, a back-and-forth battle. 6-5 our score. Brownsburg leads St. Joseph. The scoring for the Bulldogs, 4 different girls have scored. The Christopher twins have 3 altogether, 2 of those coming from Madison, the other from Peyton. And then Madeline Gottlieb added in a goal in that second quarter. 2 goals for Addison Frieden. So that makes up the scoring for the Bulldogs. On the other side, 3 early goals from Kate O'Shaughnessy. All of those coming in the first quarter. And then scoring in the second quarter was Peyton Hopkins and Shay Anderson to give them their 5 as we have just a little over a minute left in this halftime period. So, I mean, do you make any changes? It's been pretty balanced. Maybe it'll come down to let's evaluate, where we're at when the fourth quarter comes around before we start really making any changes if you're either one of these coaches.
Again, as you mentioned earlier, we're still kind of seeing that best on best. No assists to speak of so far. A lot of 1v1 drives, crease rolls, and the like. So I think it's going to come down to who can honestly step up and play the best defense and take away those 1v1 opportunities.
St. Joseph got here by winning sectional 5. They had some high-scoring victories over Northridge. And then, of course, the semi-state battle with Castle. They bested them in with tremendous performances. 4 goals from Hopkins, 6 from O'Shaughnessy. So combined, those two had 10. At the moment, combined, those two have 4 of the 5. So the Huskies do break the huddle, as do the Bulldogs. And we'll get this second half underway here shortly. About to enter the 5 o'clock hour and just still tremendous conditions for a Saturday.
Got some spots of gold peeking out in the audience. Wonder what that color might be for later tonight.
Yeah.
Yep, even a Pacers rally towel popping up here on the side. So the folks are game ready.
Yep, we need a Pacers dub later today.
Number 84, Peyton Christopher for the Bulldogs.
The usual suspects at the middle, Peyton Christopher and actually a new one out there for St. Joe is Shay Anderson, capable of trying to win some draws, unable to that time as Peyton Christopher has it. And the Bulldogs will start things going from left to right. Frieden, the freshman, also out there. Same starting lineups. Gottlieb with the spin move. And then the whistle going against the Huskies. Shooting space violation, so a free position start right at the top of the circle. Gottlieb winds up, the shot wide of the net.
that backside, you want to be on the inside edge closest to that field goal post, closest to the goal, in order to get a second crack at the goal.
Good pass, but a better save by Matthews, where the cut from Christopher was pretty crisp. Loose ball, still loose, kicked forward. Bounces around and out of bounds, I believe, was St. Joseph's, so Frayden will start things off here shortly.
Tiptoed down that line, trying to catch that loose ball, but ball's going to return back to the purple and white.
And now back over to the light blue of the Huskies, Hopkins.
Brownsburg getting a little swingy here, maybe a little more on the body than wanted. They're sitting on 2 cards. I know the coaches spoke to the referees earlier in the game, so we'll keep an eye on the Bulldogs to see if they can stay clean the rest of the way.
That pass from the top from Anderson. Not a clean exchange, but still held on to it. Now the drive from O'Shaughnessy. She gets a bump from the back.
Foul behind that goal line extended. She's going to go to the dot with Christopher 4 behind.
O'Shaughnessy keeping her eyes up. Looking around. May put up the shot herself. She's a triple team, though, so has to get rid of it. The defense really collapsing on one of those big-time attackers that the Huskies have.
Yeah, it's been man-to-man all day from both of these teams. Pressing out a little higher on the talented 21.
Hopkins goes around the back. A spin move, gets in close. Did that one sneak through?
I think it did.
It sure did. Hopkins has her second. Another tie ball game. We're at 6 apiece, with a discussion following from the officials.
I think they're going to check and see if it's going to be St. Joe ball at the draw. Hopkins with the nice little duck under, keeps it strong side right, protects that stick, shoots, and then ends on the ground. So if they decide that the foul occurred after the shot, they could give a free position to the Huskies, but it looks like they're going to say that was in the act of shooting, raise the flag, count the goal, and come back to a normal draw.
Anderson and Christopher meet again. Picked up by Peyton. And her twin sister Madison, those two trying to work together so they can get another goal between either one of them. The whistle against St. Joseph's will slow things down for the moment, but free position will be given to Peyton Christopher in a really good spot, too.
Second free position of the half for the Bulldogs.
And the drive and an easy save by Matthews.
Matthews is starting to see these shooters quite well. If you want to make good on those free positions, you've got to change your level. We like to say high to high, don't fly. Throw in a fake, change your level, bend those knees, and really make the goalie work.
Little fast break for the Huskies. We'll see if they opt to attack early. O'Shaughnessy getting some real close defense. Little scoop shot that just misses the cage.
Good look at level change there, just not quite enough flick of the wrist. There's a little difference between a scoop shot and what we would call a Twizzler, where you can actually reach down and kind of roll your wrists over the top of each other to get a little more mustard on that shot. But nonetheless, St. Joe's going to maintain possession.
Another try, another drive. Not a clean shot from Farrell. Palmer in net for Brownsburg as the defense tries to break this line of defense. The Huskies all over Brownsburg and force the turnover. Anderson picks it up. Now up to O'Shaughnessy.
Nice little hockey play right there. Cleanly knocks the ball down. Saw a teammate to her left and kind of hockey pucked it over to the side for the smooth ground ball.
Thinking otherwise, Anderson on the drive brings things back out.
You're also permitted to kick the ball in lieu of passing in women's lacrosse. Not coaches don't love it. It's not super accurate, but every once in a while you get a scrum, ball on the ground, and you can kind of kick it free or kick it to a teammate. You'll see a little of that as well sometimes. Soccer athletes love the kick. You can always tell a dual sport athlete. Shot ends in the chest protector of the Bulldogs. And we're headed the other way.
Well, the Bulldogs will try to, but a collision, a lost ball, a chance for the Huskies, and they capitalize. St. Joe's retakes the lead. Some contact, but no whistle.
Yeah, maybe bit of a confusing restart there. St. Joe's driving. No call comes. On an island, able to scoop it up, drive cross crease, get the Brownsburg goalie to lean, and find the back of the net.
That was Marr who got the goal, her first. A 7-6 lead now for St. Joe's. Over on the boys' side, Guerin leads Memorial 6-2. So the Golden Eagles, the boys lacrosse team, starting to run away with things.
Nice little draw to self there by Christopher. Gets it down to Gottlieb, wearing that captain's armband. Back to Maddie Christopher, taking a look on the weak side.
Well, if the trend continues, we'll probably see a goal here for Brownsburg, and we'll see another tie as that shot was slung in by Madison Christopher just wide of the net. We heard the reasoning behind their jersey numbers, a funny story. You caught that before this game got going.
In between games, I was enjoying chatting with the crowd, and I heard head coach, and I looked, and it was Mrs. Christopher, the mom of Maddie and Peyton, and she said, heard your telecast, and I got a reason for you. So when Peyton was younger, she played tackle football with the boys there in the Brownsburg youth program. I believe she said she was a defensive end, perhaps earning that larger number. At one point, Mom decided we're a little too petite to be on the bottom pile of boys football, but if we pick up a new sport like lacrosse, perhaps you can keep your number. And that came to fruition, and twin sister Maddie said, all right, you're 84, I'll be 42, and the legend was born.
Very unique numbers that you see on the lacrosse field, but they worked. The freshman twin sisters have made them work so far, able to score with those high numbers. A shot by Gottlieb off the post, it looked like. The Bulldogs still hold on to it.
Yeah, Brownsburg's drawn 7 or 8 free positions in this game and only able to convert on 1. They're going to need those down the stretch if they want to win this game.
A lot of movement offensively by the Bulldogs as Gottlieb gets it back, looking for a left-handed shot. That wasn't there, so she... Couple of spin moves, cannot shake the defense of Marinus.
Brownsburg clearing out, creating a lane for Christopher. Had a flag on the far side on the bump. And she's going to get a chance to make it right here on the 8-meter.
Another one of those free positions you talked about. I think it's Addison Frieden at the top. Drives in. Ball did not get out of her stick cleanly. And then another whistle. And looks to be another violation committed by the Huskies.
Huskies came in strong, got sandwiched. That stick of Peyton Hopkins a little too high for comfort there. We're going to do it again.
Here's a goal scored. So not the first time, not the second time, third time's the charm. Addison Frieden scores for Brownsburg.
Nice high cradle, change of levels, brings it just down over the head of the St. Joe goalkeeper to bring us back to sevens with 2.5 left in the third.
Have we been tied at each number, 1 through 7?
I believe we have. They're making math easy for us here on a summer Saturday.
Well, it's hard to argue we're not having the two best teams in Class 1A meeting up for this one. Back and forth we go. And back to the middle we go for another draw.
Official Azure Davy getting those sticks lined up equally parallel along that 50-yard line. And the Huskies win it cleanly. Unofficially, their first of the half.
A fought for a ball by Murphy Farrell. Now letting things get situated. A cut towards the middle of the field. A lot of construction right in front of that cage, and a holding call appears to be going against Brownsburg. Will set up the Huskies with an opportunity to retake the lead on their free position.
Trail referee had a slow flag on that hold. Huskies looking for that inside feed, but a little too much traffic results in the free position.
Errant shot towards the field goal post, and the Bulldogs closest to it.
Brownsburg just, again, slightly more on that inside towards that field goal post, gives them the advantage.
Final minute of the third quarter.
Final 50 seconds of the third. Big bouncing pass that finds Christopher on the far side.
This back and forth play is keeping these middies on their toes.
Gottlieb gives the lead right back to Brownsburg. Her second goal.
Goal by the Bulldog. Number 21, Madeline.
And another one of those goals that is scored in the final minute. Brownsburg's been able to do that before the half and now before the third.
Maddie Gottlieb all alone. The St. Joe slide comes a little late, and she's able to squeeze it through on the far side for the Bulldogs.
32 seconds left to play here in the third. Out of midfield for the
Still some time for St. Joe's if they want to add another tie to this match through 3 quarters. 32.7. Getting everybody situated, evened out at midfield. Christopher and Hopkins. Peyton ripped it out. Madison picked it up. Hopkins a little too much contact on Madison Christopher. "10 seconds. The Brownsburg fans letting Madison know there's not much time left and maybe too early of a shot. Had some time. Fired it off with about 8 or 9 seconds. And then the third quarter buzzer sounds right there. The Bulldogs still have a lead. They led by 1 at half. They lead by 1 now. It's 8-7. One more quarter. 12 more minutes to find out who's going to be champions of Class 1A in girls lacrosse.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
I'm not scheduled.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Get a gator that will get you where you need to go. Something you can get in and go with plenty of space. Be ready to tackle any terrain, large or small. When you choose Reynolds, you choose reliability. A guaranteed great customer experience and relationship from the moment you walk in. Come in and see for yourself or visit ReynoldsFarmEquipment.com.
One more quarter to go to decide this one. Brownsburg 8, St. Joseph 7. We will soon have a champion in Class 1A of girls lacrosse. If you've made it this far, thanks for sticking with us. We had a tremendous first game between Carmel going back-to-back, defeating Guerin Catholic 10-6 in Class 2A, and now our second game appears to be coming down to the wire. We've had so many lead changes, so many ties. If the way this game has gone so far, we will probably see St. Joseph tie it up at 8 and then take the lead. It'll be 9-8, and then Brownsburg will tie it at 9. But we'll see. Anything can happen. We got 12 minutes left to find out.
Yeah, just kind of a back and forth, slow crawl towards this finish line. A little bit of an extended quarter here as we've got both coaches out conferring with our officiating crew today.
This is the second time we've seen a discussion like this.
Yeah, a bit unorthodox. I mean, only 2 cards in the game, so not crazy unusual. Brownsburg has drawn, looks like maybe 4 times the free position St. Joseph has, so that might be part of the conversation, but whatever they've spoke of looks like it's been taken care of, and we are back on the draw.
A lot of fans still here. Good turnout for St. Joseph coming down from South Bend. Brownsburg, a lot of purple in the crowd. It's the Huskies who control to start this fourth quarter.
Huskies scoreless in the last 5:38 of the quarter, so they'll be looking to make a quick start here in the fourth.
Shot by O'Shaughnessy. It looked like it wasn't going to make it, and then it trickled by Blythe Palmer to score, and sure enough, the Huskies tie it again. That's at 8.
Just a brisk 30 seconds into this fourth period. O'Shaughnessy finds the 5-hole of Blythe Palmer to bring us back to 8 apiece.
Now we could probably guess, we could probably make some predictions on who for St. Joseph is going to score this next goal. That'd be a fun little game because, I mean, it appears that they're going to score the 9th goal and take the lead. Tied up at 8. A scramble for the ground ball. Frieden had it for a moment. Hopkins came through. Picked up by Farrell.
Anytime there's a ground ball, we preach get your bottom hand down, get the butt of your stick down, keep your feet moving, and run through that ball to try to avoid popping it up into space so many times.
Getting tackled and taken down. Huskies will still have it. Mary Marr. Mary will be just to her left of the cage at an angle. Palmer stands ready. Marr on the drive. The shot deflected. Palmer ready for it that time.
Nice initial dodge by Marr to get to the heart of the goal, to give herself a better shooting angle, but just not enough change on that shot, and Blythe Palmer easily handles it.
That one staying the Huskies' way. O'Shaughnessy to Hopkins. Coach Walters running with the ball down to the 10-yard line. A shove to Hopkins from behind, so she'll get a new start.
I contend there's two types of coaches. There's standers and chasers, and I was definitely a chaser, trying to will the ball down the field with my team at times.
Hopkins, that shot bounced just to the left of the net. And back there is Allenbaugh.
Bit of a high hit there on Brownsburg, push from behind. Ball's going to stay with St. Joe's on the dot. Brownsburg 4 behind.
Allenbaugh with the pass, finds O'Shaughnessy, who trips over her own feet. Christopher going at it.
Nice little body block out there by St. Joe's to scoop up that ground ball, but Brownsburg quickly reorganizes and turns her away.
Marr, not wanting to waste any time, got right back up, and then the ball finds Hopkins. Drives in. A little collision. Lots of whistles on this possession called on Brownsburg.
Officials are doing a fantastic job keeping play safe here in the 8 meters. Hopkins with the free position chance.
That one got lost. That shot by Hopkins. But a violation to follow it up committed by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, illegal restart the call. I'm guessing the Brownsburg player passed the ball before entering the field of play. So you can't do an inbound like basketball. Have to make sure both feet are securely in the field of play before passing. So lucky break for the Huskies.
Shea Anderson has it. Anderson tries the spin move. Pass over the middle, and what a shot! Caught mid-air by Farrell, and in one motion she throws it towards the goal. It bounces in.
Looks like deep in the 4th, we've got our first assist of the game. Ball coming in from behind. Farrell on her tiptoes, grabs it out of the sky to bounce it past Blythe Palmer for the 1-goal lead.
That's a highlight reel type of play. Farrell gives the Huskies the lead. It's 9-8. The Bulldogs trying to respond. Timeout on the field. We'll step aside.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Brownsburg with the timeout. They trail 9-8, 7:37 left to go in this fourth quarter. Some more discussion between all four officials. And I assume a Brownsburg coach. But we've had a couple of discussions between the officials and coaching staff.
Yeah, that's actually our lead official in the state, Mr. John Sherman. Happy to have John here today. He is an accomplished official, did the NCAA Women's Final Four game last year. So he's seen the highest level of lacrosse we have to offer and is a great mentor for our officials here in the state of Indiana. So thank you to John and his wife, April, that do all the assigning and all the fixing on the side of the referees. So can't have a game without him.
That's right, and it's been a good one, too. A lot of whistles, the officials staying on top of everything, keeping this one fair and balanced, or at least trying their best to. It's 9-8 St. Joseph. The final 7:37, and we believe the Bulldogs are out of timeouts. They just used their second one. St. Joseph has used one. So following the Huskies' goal, put in by Farrell, it'll be a draw at midfield between Peyton Christopher and Shay Anderson. Christopher wins it for Brownsburg. Towards the middle, the save by Matthews as Christopher was working towards her right. Not the cleanest of looks.
Nice shot to take it strong from left to right, but Matthews read that all the way in. Save reminiscent of other great South Bend goalkeeper, Zoe Montgomery from back in the day. Perhaps she's had some lessons from the Montgomery sisters up in South Bend.
A couple of bad passes committed by both teams, and for O'Shaughnessy, she started to run with it, got a bump, and we'll have the free position right of center. O'Shaughnessy with a golden opportunity right here. Some more illegal contact, if you will, committed by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, St. Joe's did a nice job on the drive there, changing the level of her stick, bringing that cradle down towards the knees, looking to come back up for the shot, but just too much on that check by the Bulldogs. They'll get a second chance.
Could we see our first 2-goal lead? Yes, we will. O'Shaughnessy makes it 10-8 Huskies. That's number 5 for her.
Again, perhaps St. Joe's is leaning into some of that Final Four experience they've had over the years. St. Joe's, a storied program, been in the league many years with the likes of playing greats and coaching greats like Katie Neeser, who have kept the program going. So perhaps those extra years and youth lacrosse up in South Bend is leaning in right now.
About at the halfway mark of this fourth and final frame. A draw won by the Huskies. They're feeling the rhythm now. A lot of momentum on their side.
Five minutes and change to here. 2-goal lead. Not comfortable enough if you're St. Joe, but I am going to be very selective in when I shoot and who I give the ball to. And it looks like they're maybe starting to do a little of that, but still maybe too much time on the clock to completely shut it down. But I think we'll see a little more selectivity here by the Huskies.
O'Shaughnessy not wanting to give it up just yet. Close defense from Grabowski on her as they swing it around to Hopkins. The Huskies burning a minute off of on this possession.
Second half free positions about even, maybe one more for St. Joe. They draw another one here, but the shot gets away. They're going to want that one back. It's hard to see those flags on the weak side. Teammates really got to call those out so you know that you have a chance at a free position, and we're headed the other way.
Hopkins liked her chances, thought she could have gotten that one to go through. Would have made it very interesting at a 3-goal game. We are just now at a 2-goal difference. Falling down is Christopher.
St. Joe's wise to put on the double there and slow the roll of Christopher. I mean, even the foul here burns time in favor of the Huskies, so we'll continue to see that ride strong here in these last 4 minutes.
Bulldogs struggling to get it across. Good on-ball defense by the Huskies. Losing it out of bounds was Peyton Christopher. A costly turnover. Now you can really hear the Huskies, who have traveled a long way, but they give it right back, stepping on the line out of bounds.
Some tough defense on both sides. Both fan bases wanted a foul. Both fan bases got an out-of-bounds call, and we're right back to where we began.
Lauren Duba that time. Christopher does stay in bounds. Bulldog fans looking for something to cheer for. Some of them starting to stand up. So we're closing in on 3 minutes to play. A whistle away from the ball. They want to stop the clock too.
Not sure what happened on that, but the ball's going to head to the dot. St. Joe's penalized 4 behind. Maybe an extra ball or some debris on the field, checking for safety, and we'll be back underway.
Which we are with Gottlieb. Good juke by Gottlieb towards the middle. Nice deflection by Matthews. And Anderson picks up the loose ball. The Huskies off and running with a 2-goal lead.
Decent look there by Gottlieb. Matthews standing tall, able to get the deflection. Little bit of craziness there over on the far side. Both teams riding hard on these redefense, trying to get the ball back, forcing that sideline. That sideline acts as an extra defender, but St. Joe's able to earn the call and continue on their way.
An extra defender with about 4 or 5 Bulldogs players around Hopkins, who loses it that time. Hard to tell who's got possession. It's with Brownsburg, but a lot of time burning off that clock. The Bulldogs need to get it close within striking distance, get it to one of their attackers, try to cut this down to 1. 2 minutes to play. Christopher back to her sister. Peyton Christopher looks to be really shaken up. She's heading, actually it's actually Frieden. Frieden is shaken up. Number 24 had to head over to the sideline.
Yeah, sometimes those cross checks can creep down a little low and kind of catch you in the soft of your back, kind of around those kidney areas, and that does sting. But nonetheless, a free position earned for Brownsburg. Up and away.
Madison
St.
Christopher.
Joe's closer.
Yep. And Christopher's shot was too tall. The Huskies ready for that. Closest to it takes possession. 80 seconds.
Brownsburg trying to trap here deep in the corner. Let's see if St. Joe's can wiggle their way out of this one with just over a minute to go. All that conditioning all year is going to come into play here to see if you can make, towed the line.
Anderson stepped out. Final minute. Brownsburg down 2. Christopher over to Kingery, who just checked in. And she got bumped. That'll stop the clock at 50 seconds even. Amelia Kingery has the free position. The Husky fans getting loud for Maya Matthews in net. It's a big attempt here. The pass from Kingery, and the shot is good by Peyton Christopher. That'll cut it to 1. 10-9. St. Joseph leads with 47.7 on the clock.
Only our second assist of the day, but it's a good one. Christopher gets free on the strong side, brings her hips across for the strong finish. So a little more crafty play there from Brownsburg, and St. Joe calls their second and final timeout. Up 1 goal with 47 seconds remaining in this state title bout.
Yeah, if you got it, you might as well use it with just the 47 seconds. The Huskies and all of their experience being in spots like this right now have the edge. 10-9, so directions from Coach Josie Walters. Well, first you got to win the draw. And they've had Anderson in there. They've had Hopkins in there. Those two have tried to start off possessions for the Huskies. So, one, how do you win the draw? I mean, it's easier said than done sometimes. But after that, say you do, you got to control the ball, not turn it over. You know Brownsburg's going to be feisty trying to get it back.
And you're working 2 scenarios here trying to keep that mental game strong. Of course, as you spoke, winning the draw, paramount here. If we do win the draw, what are we going to do? Are we going to run it down and try to kill it? Whose stick do we want the ball in? Those are all things we would rehearse and practice. The other option is, your doomsday option. If we don't get the ball, if Brownsburg has the ball, how are we going to handle this last 47 seconds? Play clean enough, maybe some pressure, but pressure out beyond that critical scoring area because you do not want to give up a free position at this point in the game. So 2 scenarios, both practiced, both rehearsed. It's just hard to sometimes remember those little pieces of strategy when your adrenaline's running this late in a state championship game. So she's wise to call the timeout, review the plan, and see if they can take it home.
A better feeling on the side of St. Joseph. The fans come to their feet. Plenty of light blue in stands. So at midfield will be Peyton Christopher for Brownsburg. And for St. Joe, appears to be Shea Anderson. Both getting in position.
Easy to say the most critical draw of the game here unless Brownsburg can grab one fast and force us into another, and they do just that.
It gets out, controlled by Christopher. How long will she wait? Looks to pass, a dangerous one, no one's there. Stolen away. St. Joe's has it, Emma Durrell. Durrell playing keep away. 25 seconds.
Sometimes the adrenaline of needing to score can be too much, and I think that's what we saw here from Christopher, maybe meant to throw a fake on that pass, and instead the ball dribbles away. Midfield foul here. Ball's going to remain with St. Joe's. 15.5 to play as we fetch the errant ball from the sideline. We'll see if they keep it in the hands of their stars or just try to beat this game with their feet.
A long pass to the reliable O'Shaughnessy. 5 seconds. The Huskies are going to do it.
O'Shaughnessy runs to freedom. The stick flip and enjoyment as the St. Joseph Huskies are taking home their first 1A title here in Indiana girls lacrosse.
It's a long drive back up to South Bend, but the Huskies will be happy to make it with a state championship trophy, some blue medals as they meet up with their goalie Maya Matthews halfway. Sticks flying in the air. The Huskies are champions of Class 1A.
And again, hats off to the Brownsburg Bulldogs. As we spoke earlier, a very young team. I dare say 80-100% of their scoring coming from those 9th and 10th graders. So they've earned some valuable experience here, and I'm certain we will see them for years to come.
Just a tremendous feeling. The sights and sounds. O'Shaughnessy able to close it out. What a game for her. 5 of the 10 goals, so she makes up half of the scoring. Hopkins with another great game, adding in 2. And the efforts of the underclassmen of Brownsburg were impressive, but unfortunately not enough for the ones in purple and white. Madison and Peyton Christopher, 2 goals each. The Bulldogs led in scoring by Addison Frieden, another freshman with 3. And like you said, Coach, I mean, they're going to be a tough out for plenty of years to come. Just tremendous freshmen and sophomores on that roster. But tonight, on this championship Saturday, it's all about the Huskies of St. Joseph. They win things 10-9. We'll step aside real quick. We'll come back for the trophy presentation and the handing out of medals and awards for both of our Class 1A participants. This has been the Class 1A state championship game of girls lacrosse on IndianaSRN.
We're not here to just sell you another piece of software. We're here to helping you procure the licensing, manage and monitor those licenses over time.
Collaboration is very key when working with our clients. We are very much a partnering organization. We definitely work as a team to deliver solutions for our customers.
We're here to build relationships with customers, which is unique.
Hi, I'm Grayson, and our parents work in road construction. Every day they head out to make our roads safer and better for you. But did you know work zone deaths have increased 63% since 2010?
Wow, that's a lot. Please slow down and pay attention when you see all those orange signs. When you do, you're helping to keep our parents and everyone who works on the roads safe. Thanks for looking out for us.
This message is brought to you by your friends at Highway Safety Services. Stay safe, stay alert.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience. We've got incredible specials, great service. Everything that we do here is made from scratch. We hand-cut all our steaks in-house. Bring your family, come have some great food.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you can be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
Big play here. for Mount Vernon. Hurdle looking right, now over the middle, fires, and it's in there for a touchdown. What a throw. Boy, what a stick, huh? Side out, back to the middle, and guess what? You want a point on the other side, you go to Taylor Lewis.
Here's Freeman. Has an opening shot. Score!
Stafford around a screen. Skip pass. Mays with 3. Mays drive. Floater up and in at the horn.
Hand off, and nice hole over the near side. 40, 35, 30. Block to the outside. 20, 15, 10, 5, and touchdown. And that's a big one right there. And finally, somebody gets on the board.
And can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Bertner Electric Incorporated provides professional commercial electrical contractor services to Indianapolis and surrounding communities. Locally owned and operated for over 30 years, our knowledge and experience make us the perfect choice for all your commercial electrical contractor needs. Contact us today.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you...
A good day for those in the light blue as St. Joseph knocks off Brownsburg in the 1A state championship game of girls lacrosse. The Huskies win it 10-9. And now it's time to get some medals and get that new trophy. Thanks so much for joining us, Jarrett Lewis and Coach Laura Rogers. We've had 3 tremendous days of lacrosse. It's all come down to this championship Saturday. In our final game of the evening, we'll first get to meet the rosters of the state runners-up and the Brownsburg Bulldogs.
Receiving medals tonight for the Bulldogs. Number 6, Bella Dunnigan. Number 14, Alyssa Smith. Number 15, Maggie Kinman. Number 27, Brea Tubbs. Number 30, Haley Schaefer. Number 99, Georgia Osmond. Wearing 0, Izzy Latimer. Wearing 7, Mackenzie Runyon. Wearing 12, Kayla Martin. Wearing 19, Emery Sandlin. Wearing 44, Blythe Palmer. Wearing 46, McKenna McClellan. Wearing number 3, Grace Grabowski. Number 4, Delaney Labadat. 8, Chelsea Baston. Number 9, Iris Carey. Number 10, Sienna Griffith. Number 11, Madison Garwood. Number 20, Kenzie Wagner. Number 21, Madison Gottlieb. Number 22, Amelia Carey. Number 24, Addison Frieden. Number 42, Madison Christopher. And number 84, Peyton Christopher. Congratulations to the Varsity 1A state runners-up, the Brownsburg Bulldogs. And now we will present the St. Joe's Huskies with the state championship medal. Congrats to head coach Josie Walters and assistant Elena Emmerich. Receiving state championship medals for the St. Joe's Huskies. Number 2, Murphy Farrell. Number 3, Lucy Herty. Number 4, Chloe Alumba. Number 5, Kate O'Shaughnessy. Number 6, Ashley Moranis. Number 7, Lauren Frick. Number 8, MC McCourt. Number 9, Emma Dural. Number 10, Laura Green. Number 11, Ellie Emberton. Number 12, Izzy Futa. Number 13, Gabby Patello. Number 14, Shay Anderson. Number 15, Addie Hellman. Number 16, Grace Shaw. Number 17, Paige Gobin. Number 18, Mary Maher. Number 19, Sydney Schmeltz. Number 20, Lauren Duba. Number 21, Peyton Hopkins. Number 22, Alex Showanaki. Number 23, Peyton Forsythe. Number 24, Aaron Walsh. Number 30, Maya Matthews. Number 31, Greta Chadwell. Number 36, Molly Arnold. Number 38, Sophia Kintz. Number 42, Lauren Hickey. Number 43, Leighton Stanley. And number 45, Ava Zalis. Congratulations to your Varsity 1A 2025 state champions, the St. Joe Huskies.
That's what it's all about. That's what it comes down to at the end of the season. You hope to be hosting that great, big, beautiful trophy. Congratulations to the St. Joseph Huskies on a tremendous season and a tremendous way to cap off the lacrosse year, the lacrosse season. It came down to this Saturday here in Noblesville, a 10-9 ball game. So many lead changes, so many ties. You thought maybe if a team gets that 2-goal advantage, they would be able to hold off. It would be just enough with just how the way the first 3 quarters went. And the Huskies were able to do just that with tremendous play from O'Shaughnessy, leading the way with 5 goals. Hopkins added 2. Maya Matthews in net for St. Joseph. Congratulations to them.
Yeah, Huskies maybe just had a little bit more experience in the end, but again, hats off to these Bulldogs and their youth for making a nice deep run into the playoffs here in 2025. And thanks to our hosts here at Noblesville Lacrosse, another great year of hosting from them. Things run smoothly. We had Chamber of Commerce weather, like you said, a great weekend to finish out this 2025 season.
Yeah, it's really 3 great days of lacrosse, and it all ended here on this Saturday. Thanks for joining us here on Indiana SRN. I want to shout out the rest of our crew, producer Nick, and as well as Coach Laura Rogers. Thanks for being here, guys. We've had a great 3 days, like we said. Thanks again to Noblesville. Thanks again for great lacrosse from all the teams that participated. We'll be back. We'll be sure to do this again. And in the meantime, make sure you join Indiana SRN for the rest of the summer as spring sports start to wind down, baseball and softball, and then soon enough we'll be into football season. So for Coach Laura Rogers, I'm Jarrett Lewis saying so long for now, everybody. You've been watching Indiana High School Girls Lacrosse on Indiana SRN.